Hi, I'm Suzanne Romero, and I am the president and founder of the George A. Romero Foundation, aka GARF, and we're here to talk about the amusement park. So, George had been diagnosed and he was just really not wanting to talk about business. And a friend of ours, Julia Dagnola, who was the curator for the Venice Film Festival, and she said to me, Suze, I'd like to give you, a copy, a 16 millimeter of this film and a DVD. And I went, okay, what's this? And I saw that it was the amusement park. And I said to George, I have these two interesting things and I have no idea what this is. And he said, nothing. It was 37 G's, I think, and 3 days, bing, bang, boom. It was a nothing, it's nothing. I said, okay, well, do you think maybe I can, maybe we can watch it? And, we had a few people over and we slapped in the DVD and we thought it was fantastic. And, that was it. And then, then he passed. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with, this, my life, and I'm feeling very sad. And we set up a 501c3. I already have given my share to the archive. And I have this 16 and this DVD, and I presented it to Adam Lowenstein. I said, I have this quirky little, odd little film that George did, in 73. I'd like you to see it and tell me if I'm the only one on this planet who thinks this is incredible. And we watched it, and oh my God, Adam was just as enthralled as I was and everyone was when we first saw it. And then I said to my blossoming team at the time, I said, I think this is our first project. I think we need to get this out there. And so this was, I would say, about a year after his passing. And I just thought, okay, well, let's just get it out there. And then it took me 2 years. It took me 2 years to do it because chain of title was very difficult to get. Nobody kept records. Slow by slow, inch by inch, we start getting all the ducks in a row. And then I start looking for people who can restore this film. And the DVD actually looked beautiful. So I never thought that the 16 would be as horrible as it was, but it was in terrible shape. It was warped, magenta. It was ripped in some parts. It was pretty well a disaster. But Indie Collect, Sandra Schulberg, her professional team, they're very passionate. They painstakingly, frame by frame, took beautiful care of it. Wonderful folks there, and that's what they do. They save indie film, and they were so happy that they had that they had an opportunity to restore a George Romero, and and as we were watching it, because I must have seen this film, I don't even know how, hundreds and hundreds of times, and it was such a disturbing film. It's a disturbing, ugly film. And as I said, or as George said, it was a very small budget. The Lutheran Society gave the lion's share of the funding. And if you observe the film, you'll see George's shorts going by because he's pretending he's part of Amusement Park, and if you listen to it, it's George's voice, the Walla. He's all over this film.
Dig it, man. Dig. Man, no, come here, man.
It's actually, I personally think it's one of the most Romero of all the Romero films, because it has obviously the social commentary there. It has the incredible discombobulating editing. I don't know, every time I saw that film, I kept saying, I actually think this is the most Romero has ever been. And so I really felt, and so did, and Sandra agreed with me, and she also felt that this was an ugly film and disturbing, and you know, it's a theme we all understand. We all understand this theme. You know, it's all about aging, and when you have money, aging is easier. If you don't have money, not so much. So and society, and nowadays, you know, we have institutions or organizations that provide Meals on Wheels and all these wonderful assistances to elderly who have, you know, economically challenged. But at that time, these organizations were not existent. And so this film was made to be almost like a commercial, like, you know, a shout out to help, you know, give us some help because we have a problem. And here's another thing, we still have a problem. And so this film, even though it was done in '73, still resonates because people are still challenged. There's still no support. And we're all going there. The film keeps hammering that in. And then what I also loved about the film, I mean, you know, I love it because, you know, maybe I'm, you know, prejudiced or biased, but I love the white room bookends where it starts in a neutral place and then you go into the amusement park, you have this horror going on, and then it comes back to this neutral place where we all end up being neutral initially, and then we go into the amusement park, and hopefully your experience in the amusement park works out.
There's nothing outside. Nothing.
So it was twofold for me. I wanted to get that message out. It's an important message. And then it was a Romero. So it was really wonderful that we were able to get the important message out and yet release a very rarely seen film that he did in '73.
Move down the line.
Do you have your forms filled out, sir? I don't have any forms.
You don't have them?
No.
You fill out your forms.
Listen, I don't have any forms. I need a doctor.
You know, I was really a bit worried about it because obviously this is not a zombie film. It's not for everyone, and I just didn't want it to be misrepresented and disappoint people. So I was very nervous about it. And then we started selling it, and everybody was like, oh my God, it's fantastic. It's terrific, it's good. And I kept getting all this positive feedback. And then I just had a huge relief because I thought, okay, there will be some zombie fans out there that will be disappointed when they see this film. But I think the cinephile and the Romero cinephile fans will appreciate this work. Part of my job as the president of the foundation is to restore George's films, to make sure that all of his films are protected and cherished. And this is what we do. And I think people appreciate this. We have a couple of other things that are coming down the pike. It's been released in Japan and in Europe, in Germany, and England is coming next, I believe. But I think people are anticipating, they've seen, you know, on Shudder, of course, people were able to finally see this film. And now we're really anticipating this Blu-ray, and we're excited about it, and people will be able to get a piece of their collection they never had. So I think that it's a job well done for the foundation, and we're very proud of it.